She fell, she fought, and in the end, she emerged victorious. This is the woman of today, and she is made of steel. Come and watch how she slays.
Back again with yet another week of She Slays, or should I say yet another edition of She Slays. Every Thursday is 3 o'clock and exclusive on Afternoons with Annie. And joining me today all the way from UK is Helen Cooper, who also happens to be the founder of the Helen Cooper School of Luxury. And the idea of a green school has been playing on her mind for a while. She's been working at it. And we're talking about luxury and fashion and green. They usually don't go along, but she's going to make it happen. Helen, thank you so much for being on my show. A warm welcome.
You're very welcome, Annie. I'm delighted to be here on Radio One. It's amazing.
Helen, tell me something. When did this bug bite you, the luxury and fashion bug? How many years ago was this?
So I've been in business for over 35 years now, in premium and luxury branding around the world, working with some early stage companies as well as some really major blue chips. And I felt that I'd accumulated an awful lot of knowledge, but I wasn't able to really share it in the way that I wanted to.
Right.
And I was working with some entrepreneurs in the UK, actually, and started to write a couple of courses to help them out with certain areas. And then suddenly it just blew up from there. And I've been looking at luxury as an opportunity, having come out of that industry for quite some time. So about 2 years ago, having started a couple of those courses, I then started to put together a whole program and really alighted on India as being a real focal point for me.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that there were a lot of parallels between India and the UK about 40 years ago, maybe, where huge numbers of very, very talented artisans were making beautiful products, but never getting it in front of the consumer.
Yes.
And that was a question of branding. And I felt, I can do this. I can actually teach people about luxury branding. And so the program itself is entirely based on my foundation of knowledge across a very wide range of functions. And it's a very practical program because of that. I'm not an academic. I like to be able to do things and to teach people how to do things. And so we have what we call a Practicademy here. And it's using my knowledge to be able to share that and help others wherever possible.
That's beautiful. How is that going to help build a green school? I mean, somehow the word luxury doesn't go with sustainability, unless, of course, you are going to give me a new meaning through your school.
Well, that's the problem, unfortunately, Annie, that luxury feels that sustainability has nothing to do with it. And a lot of that is because it's very difficult to retrofit sustainability and ethical ways of working into an existing business.
Right.
So what we talk about here is our motto is sustainable luxury made in India. And that is because if you start from a sustainable viewpoint, it's much, much easier for you to be able to maintain and develop that.
Sure.
And it gives you what I think is a really strong competitive advantage as an entrepreneur within the luxury world. So, we've looked at this from a viewpoint of the 5 whys, if you like. So why me? Well, I've just mentioned I've got the background and the experience, which is very unique, I think, and it actually has that sort of teaching element within it. Why our school? Because we're offering this practical knowledge, and it is something which you develop and learn throughout the whole course when you're studying with us. You're actually building your brand, you're building your plan, you're building your business model and your ideas. So when you get out at the other end of the program, you're ready to hit the ground running. And that's really important. I don't want people coming out from our course thinking, gosh, now what? Now what do I do? This is a really practical course. I think there is this enormous potential with India in that why the entrepreneurs now, because they are the future of luxury. Right now, a lot of the big Western luxury brands are already making their products in India. Right. Why do we have to go to a Western brand to validate the crafts that are being made in India? I don't get it. I'm an outsider.
Thank you so much for saying that.
But, you don't need that. But what you do need are the quality branding skills. And that's what we're really all about. I think, for some reason over the last decades, luxury by default has become a Western luxury brand definition. I think that's wrong, and we need to do something. But sustainability is the way that I think new brands are going to emerge. And whether you're a manufacturer who is looking at how they might acquire higher value clients in the future and adopt more sustainable working ways and materials, or whether you're actually a brand owner that wants to become known for more sustainable materials. I think that these are things that are really going to set you ahead and become part of that talking point. A much more modern era of luxury is emerging, and India for me can really be at the front of that, and that's all part of this big luxury shift that's going on.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love the fact that you recognize the kind of pool of talent we have. Okay, quickly first, when are you launching in India? And how can we avail of a workshop or a certificate course or a degree at your school?
Okay, so we officially launched on the 10th of September, very auspicious date. And we have been running free masterclasses actually since then, just to really introduce ourselves to the student populations and to really gather the information about what people are looking for from us. In fact, we've got another webinar that's going to be coming up in the middle of January on storytelling and integrating Indian myths and legends into brands as well.
Wow.
But for us, you know, we're at this early stage, but the whole point of it is to be able to work alongside students as they're currently studying, or if they feel there are gaps in the courses that they're doing themselves in terms of how do they make this become a career, not just having the knowledge, but actually doing something with it. That's the next step that we can actually provide to them. And I guess that's why we're quite different from other universities, other schools that are out there. We're here to really inspire Indian entrepreneurs and to really push this movement of this new era of sustainable luxury that's made in India. I want to build this real pride and an acceptance that local luxury can be as valuable, if not more so, than the westernized big luxury brands that have really no cultural relevance whatsoever to India, but they've got the money to kind of blast their way into the market. And I look from this from the outside in as well and think the world is waiting for new and interesting brands that have a cultural authenticity. And there is a huge opportunity for that. People are bored now, I think, with the big luxury brands and starting to see through them. And now we can actually do something that's different. So in some ways, I would say we're quite similar to some universities. So, you know, we offer online learning, which has got easy access 24/7 to different mixed media materials. But we also combine that with live tutor-led debate and learning so that you can have a weekly webinar on a particular topic and really deepen your knowledge there. And those tutors then stay with those students right the way through, not only the course, but afterwards, to help and mentor them as they go forward. Because we take a really deep personal interest in how they're doing and, you know, help them to be as successful as they possibly can be. In other ways, I think we're very different. We're very practical. We're not academic. We are very conscious of the engagement with the student right from the very start. That means that they feel like it does matter to us that they do well. And I don't think a lot of universities, because they have so many people on their courses, are able to really do that. We limit our number of students to 30 per course, and we only have one intake of a course per month. So if you miss the boat, you're on the waiting list and you can join the next course as you want to. But I actually believe in experience being the best teacher. So as well as my own personal experience, all the tutors have been handpicked because they've got real world experience in luxury. They've actually had to earn a living in it, not just to be a teacher of it. And so what that means is that when students ask questions that are quite practical in how do you do this and what happens when, they've got an answer for them. They're not just going to give an academic viewpoint. They're actually saying, well, when it happened to me, this is what I did. And I think that's much more valuable. And we also have a range of video interviews that we call In My Experience, which is with a range of Indian entrepreneurs who have already started to make it, so that they can not only inspire others with their journey, but they're also going to give top tips to the future generation of entrepreneurs. And it helps to provide new and I think very valid role models for Indian entrepreneurs in luxury, which is really important.
That's beautiful. We're looking at a school of luxury that's going to help build your brand, build your business, give the thrust it requires into the global arena. So as much as you want to make your brand luxurious, sustainability will be a focal point in your brand. And that's what Helen Cooper School of Luxury really intends to do. Helen, it's simple. Helen Cooper School of Luxury And we find it?
So we've got slightly shorter, HelenCooperLuxury.com.
Okay. HelenCooperLuxury.com it is. Okay, now straight to your quick fire round. Okay,
I'm a bit scared.
I like this very first response and reaction that everybody gives me. It's like going back to school for some reason that you hated as much as you loved. I don't know if, Okay. What is something you've done that's made you feel extreme happiness?
Well, apart from giving birth to 2 children who are amazing, of course, extreme happiness. I think probably when I have been able to turn around a business, which meant I saved the jobs of 180 people by restructuring it and also then putting new branding around it, which meant that 180 people had a Christmas, they had livelihoods, they could pay their mortgages.
Kudos.
So yeah, that was pretty happy.
Kudos. Knowing what you know today, what would you like to tell your 16-year-old self?
Be confident in yourself, actually. Don't listen to what other people are saying or thinking that you should be or do. I think confidence comes with knowledge and it comes with age as well. And I don't think anybody would tell me what to do now.
Well, that's called slaying it. What job are you terrible at, Helen, if there is any?
Ironing. Absolutely shocking. My husband does all the cooking, all the ironing, all the washing. Last time I washed something, it turned out blue. It was dreadful. So marvelous. He does it.
Okay, what are you most afraid of?
Well, my simple answer, without it being too philosophical, is snakes. I absolutely hate snakes. I am petrified. Having lived in Africa for a few years, I froze when I saw just a tiny egg eater. It was only a large worm, really, but I have an absolute horror of them.
Okay. We're going to slip into the entertainment world. I'm guessing you may have found the time to watch a movie on a digital platform, because these days it's about comfort and convenience to just, watch a movie at the click of a button. So if there is any movie you watched in the recent times that you really loved, which one was it?
Well, I have my all-time classic that every Christmas has to go on, and even my husband now knows it. It's going on, which is Love Actually. That's just great fun. But I watched one last week, which I absolutely loved, which was, I think, called The Unbelievable Journey of the Fakir. And it was about a chap from Mumbai that he got caught up in an IKEA wardrobe and he ended up being transported around Europe. And it was just so fun. And there was a great Bollywood scene in it. I'm going like this all the way through it. And it was marvelous. I loved it.
Oh, that's beautiful. What's the name of the movie again?
I think it was called The Unbelievable Journey of the Fakir or something. Ooh, but it was brilliant. I loved it.
Okay, I'm going to look that up. Okay, talking about pop stars or musicians, can you give me 2 names that you really love listening to?
Bruce Springsteen, no question.
Okay.
And also Stacey Kent, which not many people know, but she has a really beautiful bluesy jazz kind of voice to her.
Nice.
But Springsteen till I die, as well as Queen.
All right, that's really cool. If you were given a chance to explore the oceans, go to the moon, visit 50 countries, which one would you choose and why?
I'd visit 50 countries.
Yeah.
Although it's not very sustainable. I'd have to go by boat or foot or something.
I know, right? I'm going to get onto that bandwagon too. Yeah.
I'll do a Greta and sail across.
A really, really long break. Well deserving one of that. Okay. If I have to ask you about being a comic superhero for one day, who would it be and why?
I don't know many comic superheroes. Probably Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because he can zoom around the place, avoid all that traffic, and nobody really knows. Although I'm not so sure I'd look so good in that suit. Thinking.
Okay, if past lives are real, what was yours, you think, Helen?
Oh, gosh. I was probably a shopkeeper.
You were?
I would have been a shopkeeper. My father was a shopkeeper. He had his own luxury business in gifts. And I used to go and work in there. And in fact, before he went into the giftware, he used to sell beds. And apparently one day I went in with him to help out. I was only 3 and I got a bit tired. So I found a bed and I went to sleep in it. The trouble was, he suddenly realized there was this crowd of people in front of the window and I'd fallen asleep in this bed in the window display. And he sold loads of beds that day. So, you know, it's kind of come back again, if you like, when you're tired.
What qualities do you value in people with whom you spend time?
Honesty, integrity, a sense of humor. I don't like people that take themselves too seriously at all. I really hate people that, you know, feel that they're better than somebody. I don't get that. I don't get it at all.
All right. That's pretty cool. Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Well, he would have been in the Bay City Rollers, and it was Les McEwen. Sadly, just died earlier this year. But me and my best friend Gwen, we regularly get out the tartan scarves and we dance to Bay City Rollers, and we look like idiots because we're both nearly 60.
That is so sweet. What's your favorite time of the day?
I actually quite like mornings. Sometimes in summer when it's sort of 4 or 4:30 and the sun's just coming up, absolutely gorgeous. And you see it starting to warm the rest of the world. It's great.
Wow. What's your favorite beverage?
I actually rather like craft beer.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm quite a junkie on that one. But if not, then it's got to be Paul Roger champagne. So it's from one end to the other.
Okay. And the last question, what is it that you're looking forward to keenly in the upcoming days? Well, I should say 2022.
2022 would be a little bit more of a period for us.
Yeah.
I think seeing people go through our school and starting to be a success and giving us the feedback that means that we just know we're doing it right and that we're adding something to them and making difference to their lives, actually.
All right. Thank you so much, Helen. I hope you had fun. I had a whole lot of fun. And
it was great.
Loved to learn so much about the Helen Cooper School of Luxury. So HelenCooperLuxury.com, that's what we've got to go after and learn a lot more about what they're offering, what Helen's offering, and get right to it. Thank you so much.
Have a look on Facebook. Thanks, Annie.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from Radio One.